Have you been practicing scales and arpeggios for months or even years, except you sound like you're playing exercises instead of sounding like you're playing jazz?
You like jazz?
Maybe you freeze up completely when the chords are moving too fast, or you're just overwhelmed playing the same boring licks over and over again. At the same time, it seems like real jazz guitarists can effortlessly move through the changes. Well, by the end of this lesson, you're going to know your first essential jazz pattern and why this systematic method creates breakthroughs in your improvisation faster than any amount of scale practice or arpeggio practice. I've already been testing this approach with my students inside Chase's Guitar Academy, and the results have been incredible. One student told me, to my knowledge, there's nothing that's taught with this kind of systematic approach that focuses on one very simple pattern that then gets applied very easily over different sets of chord changes. The approach made it that much easier to do a simple pattern with virtually no thinking while playing. And Kevin, one of my more experienced students, said, even more experienced improvisers can get something out of this, as we tend to forget how often you hear simple patterns in improv. This will reignite those patterns. Here's how it works. Instead of thinking in scales, we're going to learn these essential jazz patterns in the same way that when you're learning English, we don't think in terms of letters, we think in terms of the words we're going to say. And what you're about to see is the first lesson in my Essential Jazz Patterns series. If you want to see the complete system, I am hosting a free workshop this Saturday at noon, Master Improvisation Blueprint. You can get the details in the description, or just join Chase's Guitar Academy and get access immediately. In that workshop, I'm going to teach you all 9 essential jazz patterns and show you personally how this can transform your improvisation with real examples from solos of the masters. You'll really understand how this approach works and how you can implement it yourself. Without further ado, here's that first lesson. Welcome to lesson 1 for essential jazz patterns. Today we're looking at the first essential jazz pattern in the key of C, and this is the 1-2-3 pattern. So what we'll do is we'll use a chord shape, in this case C major 7, and that root note C is going to be the start of our pattern. So 1, 2, 3, C, D, E. And we'll do this in 2 octaves. So we'll do C, D, E here, and then we'll also skip an octave up to this C, and then do C, D, E there. So both of these fit within the chord shape that we have going on here. Now let's also do the same pattern for some different chords. And we're going to do these for different chords and then practice them in a chord progression. Very common jazz chord progressions. So the next one we'll do G7 or G13. Same idea, we find the root G. That's going to be 1, 1, 2, 3. So G, A, B. And then we're going to do our octave G, A, B. So you can see how the G is there, the B is here. You want to visualize how that pattern fits within the chord shape we're looking at. And then lastly, we'll do D minor. D minor 9. Now our 1, 2, 3 here is a little bit different. That 3 is actually a flat 3, meaning it's only going to be 1 fret or a half step away from the second note. That's what gives it the minor sound. So in that octave, D, E, F, and then also all on one string, D, E, F. And you see how that second note is also in our chord. Okay, so let's practice these notes over a standard 2-5-1 progression. And what you want to do is practice visualizing these as the chords are moving. I'll show you exactly how to do that. I'll demonstrate first. So in this 2-5-1 progression, we start with D minor, then we go to the G7, and then we go to C major. And what we'll want to do, and we'll stick to just 1 octave for now, is over the D minor, play with those notes for D minor, 1, 2, 3. When it goes to the G7, we have the notes for G, the G, A, B, And then when we have the notes for C major, we have C, D, E. So we want to practice shifting our awareness from one group of 3 notes to another group of 3 notes. And we can take our time, we can be real deliberate about this. And we'll start off just by playing exactly the 1, 2, 3 pattern for each of the chords. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. C, D, E. Let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3 for D. 1, 2, 3 for G. 1, 2, 3 for C. Let's stick to one low octave. So D, low G, C. Why don't you give it a try? For this next exercise, I want to do the same exact progression, but we'll simplify things to just use one of those 3 notes for each chord. We'll do this in a few different ways, and that'll really help you understand and hear what each note sounds like over the given harmony. So let's just start playing the 1 over each of these chords. Now, because the chords change, the 1 will change for each of the chords. For D minor, we'll play D. For G7, we'll play G. And then for C major, we'll play C. Let's try that. I'm trying to hear what that sounds like over the chord. Give that a go. So now let's try playing the 3 for each of these chords. So starting with D minor, we'll play F, because that's the 3, 1, 2, 3. For G7, we'll play B. And then for C major, we'll play E. And we're just trying to listen to that note and hear what it sounds like over the harmony. Lower octave. All right, give this one a go too. So that's a great start. Let's continue and learn about the 2-7 chord. In this case, D7 or D9. So in the key of C, the 2, as we already know, is D. And we're going to play this as a dominant 7 chord. So our 1, 2, 3 pattern here is going to change a little bit. Because D7 has a major third, we're going to play D, E, F sharp instead of D, E, F. So D, E, F sharp, and then on the next octave, D, E, we're going to play F sharp here. So we'll do the same type of idea using these notes, but we're going to do a different progression. Now this progression is coming from the song Take the A Train. We have the 1 chord, C major 7. We have a little bit more time here also. That's going to go up to D7, so we get to practice our new 1, 2, 3. And then we get the 2-5 that we were just working on. D minor, G7, C major. Okay, so it's a slightly longer progression. This is going to be 8 bars. And we're going to first practice that C major to D7, and then we're going to get some more review on the 2-5-1 we just did. So let me demonstrate first. And what we should do for this one is we'll just play between the first note and the second note for each of these chords. So let me demonstrate. 1, 2, G, C. Okay, you give this one a try. You can bounce between the two notes. You can take your time. You could just play one of them. As the chord's moving, try and hear what that note sounds like while the harmony is happening. And don't worry, you have lots of time. You're also going to have the backing track below if you need more practice. All right, you're doing great so far. The last two chords that I want to check out for this lesson, we're gonna do A minor, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and then our next octave, A, B, C, and then also F major 7. This F major 7 right here. And we have 1, 2, 3. And I actually want us to shift F, G, A. So we shift our hand up a little bit. F, G, A for that F major 7. Okay, so for this one, we have a new 1, 2, 3 that has a minor third, the B to C. C is the minor third for A. And then we have another one, major 7, just sort of our standard 1, 2, 3 for F major. For this next one, we're going to do a progression that's loosely based on the tune All the Things You Are. It's going to be an 8 measure progression, and the first 4 measures we'll do an A minor, D minor, G7, and C major. So this would be 6, 2, 5, 1. And then for the next 4 measures, we're going to do 4, F major 7, and then 2, 5, 1. So 6, 2, 5, 1, and 4, 2, 5, 1. The only chord we don't have here was the D7. Okay, so we'll do the 1, 2, 3 for each of them. And for this one, let's just start off to get our bearing, because the chords, we have a lot of chords that move around. Let's just play the root, the 1, for each of these chords. Let's do the higher octave. All right, so now it's your turn to try that out. For this last exercise, I want us to play the 1, 2, 3 in any sort of rhythm that feels comfortable to you over each of these chords. As always, I'll demonstrate first. You can use any octave for this exercise. Just try and go through each of these and keep the progression in mind as you do it. All right, that was a great job. Now, if you're still struggling with any part of this, don't worry. We're going to get a lot of practice and review as this course progresses. This is just the first lesson. You also have access to the backing tracks down below, and that is for you to practice this further and get some more experience. If you want to hear some examples, you can listen back to this lesson.